Ladies and gentlemen, you ever wonder why the strongest women go through the hardest battles? Why it seems like every time you try to catch your breath, life throws another storm your way? Let me tell you something. God doesn't put weak hands on heavy assignments. If you're fighting, it's because you were built for war. See, pain has a purpose. You're not suffering for nothing. Every tear, every late night prayer, every moment where you felt like giving up, it's shaping you, refining you. Strength isn't something that's just handed out. It's something you earn. And let me tell you, the fact that you're still standing, that means you're stronger than you even realize. God doesn't waste battles. Every hardship is molding you into the woman He designed you to be. When you feel like you're being buried, understand this. You're not buried. You're planted. And when the time is right, you're going to rise. The enemy attacks what he fears. He wouldn't be coming at you so hard if you weren't dangerous, if you weren't destined for greatness. The devil doesn't mess with people who don't matter. He comes for the ones with purpose, the ones who carry light, the ones who are about to change the game. I know it's hard, I know it hurts, but listen to me. There is glory in the struggle. There is power in the pain. What you're carrying is bigger than you. You're not just fighting for yourself, you're fighting for the people coming behind you. Your testimony, your endurance, your resilience, it's going to inspire somebody else to keep going. And let me remind you of something. The battle is already won. God's not watching to see if you'll survive. He already knows you will. That's why He chose you for this journey. That's why He put that fire inside of you. So stand up, lift your head, keep walking, keep fighting. Because when it's all said and done, when you look back at everything you've been through, you're going to see one thing. Every battle, every tear, every sleepless night was worth it. Because you didn't just survive, you conquered. Strength is not something that appears out of nowhere. It is not handed down or gifted. It is earned, molded, and forged through struggle. When life applies pressure, when obstacles rise, and when the weight of adversity bears down, that is when true strength begins to take shape. Just as fire refines gold and pressure turns coal into diamonds, hardship is the process through which resilience is born. Every challenge, every setback, and every painful moment is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than before. Struggle forces growth in ways that comfort never can. When everything is easy, there is no need to push limits, no need to adapt, and no need to dig deep. But when difficulties arise, when everything that was once stable is shaken, that is when strength is put to the test. The human spirit is stretched in the face of struggle, and it is in that stretching that new capacities are discovered. Muscles do not grow without resistance, and neither does character. Pain and hardship strip away illusions, revealing what a person is truly made of. It teaches patience, endurance, and the ability to stand firm even when the ground feels unsteady. Struggle introduces discomfort, but in that discomfort lies transformation. The very moments that feel unbearable are the ones that build the deepest reservoirs of strength. Adversity teaches lessons that cannot be learned any other way. It demands perseverance when quitting feels easier, courage when fear creeps in, and faith when answers are unclear. Those who have endured struggle emerge with a power that cannot be faked or imitated. It is not just about surviving difficulties, but about being shaped by them, coming out on the other side stronger, sharper, and ready for whatever comes next. Not everyone is built to carry heavy burdens, and not everyone is chosen to walk through fire and come out refined. When the weight of life feels unbearable, when the struggles seem relentless, it is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. The toughest battles are not handed to just anyone. They are given to those who have the capacity to endure, the heart to keep pushing, and the spirit to rise no matter how many times they fall. Strength is not always loud, and resilience is not always visible, but those who carry the heaviest loads are often the ones God trusts the most. Difficulties are not punishments, they are assignments. They are divine confirmations that there is something inside that must be unlocked through adversity. A soldier does not become strong by avoiding the battlefield, but by enduring the fight, by standing firm when everything around them tries to break them. It is in these moments, in the middle of the storm, that true strength is revealed. The pain, the uncertainty, the exhaustion, these are not meant to destroy, but to refine. Some are called to walk easier paths, but the strongest are called to endure more because they are built for more. They are the ones who will inspire, who will lead, who will rise despite the odds. They carry a different weight because they have a different purpose. Every hardship is proof that they are trusted with something greater. The struggle is not meaningless, and the battle is not in vain. It is preparation, sharpening, molding into the person who can withstand anything and still keep going. God does not put extraordinary weight on ordinary shoulders. He chooses those who can bear it, fight through it, and emerge victorious. Pain is never without meaning, even when it feels unbearable. It serves a purpose greater than the suffering itself, shaping and molding in ways that comfort never could. Every struggle, every heartbreak, and every disappointment carries within it a lesson, a refinement, and a transformation that would not be possible without it. Pain strips away illusions, revealing the deepest truths about strength, endurance, and resilience. It forces a shift in perspective, breaking down what is unnecessary and building up what is essential. There are moments when pain feels cruel, when it seems like an unfair burden. But beneath the surface, it is working to strengthen and prepare. It teaches patience when things do not go as planned, humility when pride gets in the way, and faith when there are no clear answers. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without hardship, there is no depth. Pain introduces a level of awareness that comfort could never provide, pushing beyond limitations and into new levels of wisdom and understanding. Pain also connects people in a way that nothing else can. It creates empathy, allowing one person's suffering to become a source of comfort for another. Those who have walked through darkness understand the weight others carry, and in that understanding, they become a source of light. Pain is not just about endurance. It is about transformation. It is a process of breaking and rebuilding, of refining and strengthening, of learning and becoming. What feels like destruction is often preparation for something greater. Every tear, every scar, every moment of struggle is shaping something unseen, something stronger, something that would not exist without the experience of pain. Faith is easy when life is smooth, when there are no obstacles, and when everything falls into place without resistance. But real faith is not built in comfort, it is forged in the storm. When the winds rise, when the path becomes unclear, and when every step forward feels like a battle, that is where faith either crumbles or strengthens. The moments of uncertainty, the seasons of struggle, the trials that seem never ending, these are the very conditions where faith is stretched, tested, and ultimately deepened. A storm strips away control, forcing reliance on something greater. It removes the illusion that everything is in human hands and reveals the need to trust in something beyond sight and understanding. It is in the moments of chaos that faith is purified, becoming more than just words or beliefs, but a source of unshakable strength. When everything feels lost, when doors close, when nothing makes sense, faith is the anchor that holds steady. The storm does not weaken faith, it reveals its depth. It pushes beyond surface-level trust and demands a surrender that only adversity can teach. It teaches patience when the answers do not come immediately, resilience when the weight feels too heavy, and unwavering belief even when the outcome is unknown. There is a transformation that happens in struggle, a shift from questioning why the storm is happening to understanding that it is shaping something within. Faith does not eliminate storms, but it carries through them. It grows stronger with every challenge, every unanswered question, every step taken in uncertainty. The deeper the struggle, the deeper the faith must go. It is in the moments of trial that faith moves beyond mere belief and becomes a foundation that nothing can shake. Pressure is not the enemy. It is the process through which greatness is formed. A diamond does not start as something rare or valuable. It begins as an ordinary piece of carbon, buried deep beneath the surface, exposed to immense heat and pressure over time. Without that pressure, it remains just that, ordinary. But under intense force, its structure transforms, its strength increases, and its brilliance emerges. The same is true for people. Those who are tested, who endure hardship, who face the crushing weight of challenges, are the ones who come out refined, unbreakable, and shining in a way they never could have without struggle. Pressure reveals what a person is truly made of. It strips away weakness, exposes resilience, and forces an inner transformation that comfort never could. Growth does not happen in ease, it happens in discomfort. Muscles grow when they are pushed beyond their limits. Skills sharpen when they are challenged. Wisdom develops through experience, often painful experience. The toughest battles, the hardest moments, and the most overwhelming trials are the very things shaping something rare within. Some crumble under pressure, while others allow it to shape them. The difference is not in the struggle itself, but in how it is handled. Pressure is not meant to destroy, but to refine. It forces deeper strength, stronger resolve, and a sharper focus on what truly matters. It separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, those who break from those who rise. When the weight feels unbearable, it is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of transformation in progress. Just as diamonds emerge from the depths of the earth, shining and unshakable, so do those who embrace the process, allowing the pressure to turn them into something greater than they ever imagined. Scars are not just marks on the skin. They are proof of battles fought and won. Every scar carries a story, a moment of struggle, a time of pain, but most importantly, a testimony of survival. They are reminders that what once hurt did not destroy, that the wounds that seemed unbearable eventually healed, and that strength was built in the process. Some scars are visible, etched onto the body as permanent reminders of a fight endured. Others are invisible, buried deep in the soul, shaping perspectives, strengthening resolve, and molding character in ways nothing else could. Scars do not form without pain. They come from wounds, from battles that pushed limits, from moments that seemed impossible to overcome. But they also represent resilience. They show that the struggle did not end in defeat. The strongest warriors carry the most scars, not because they were weak, but because they fought through what others could not. Every scar is a lesson, a moment in time where breaking seemed like the only option, yet endurance won instead. They tell stories of faith in the darkest moments, of courage when fear was overwhelming, of rising up when everything seemed lost. A scar is not a sign of weakness, it is a badge of honor. It says, I was hurt, but I healed. It says, I fell, but I got back up. The world may see only the marks left behind, but the one who carries them knows the full weight of the journey. Scars hold wisdom, strength, and experience that cannot be gained any other way. They remind that pain was endured, battles were fought, and no matter how hard the journey was, survival was the final outcome. Greatness is never given without preparation. Before elevation comes a process, a season of refining, breaking, rebuilding, and strengthening. God does not place people in high positions without first preparing them to handle the weight of that responsibility. The process may be painful, filled with trials, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty, but it is never without purpose. Every delay, every hardship, every challenge is part of a divine plan to equip, to mold, and to shape into someone who can carry the blessings meant for them. Preparation often feels like isolation. It can feel like everything is falling apart when in reality, things are falling into place. Growth happens in the unseen moments, in the struggles that no one else notices. The discomfort, the waiting, the rejection, all of it is building something greater beneath the surface. Just as a seed must be buried before it can sprout, those destined for greatness must go through seasons of obscurity before they can rise. The foundation must be strong before the structure can stand tall. God's timing is never rushed. He does not elevate prematurely because an unprepared blessing can become a burden. The lessons learned in hardship are what sustain success. Patience is developed in waiting. Faith is strengthened in uncertainty, and resilience is built in adversity. The process is not meant to break, but to refine, removing what is not needed and reinforcing what is. Many desire elevation but resist preparation. They want the reward without the work, the platform without the process. But true promotion comes only after endurance, discipline, and trust in what cannot yet be seen. The struggles are not in vain. They are the training ground for what is coming. Every test, every battle, every hardship is preparing for something greater, something that could not be handled without the journey that came before it. A strong woman is a threat to anything that seeks to keep her in bondage. She carries resilience in her spirit, fire in her soul, and wisdom gained from battles that should have broken her. The enemy does not attack those who have no power. He goes after those who are dangerous to his plans. A strong woman is a warrior, a leader, a force that cannot be silenced, and that is why she faces resistance. The weight of her struggles is not a reflection of her weakness, but of her strength. The enemy fears her because she refuses to bow, refuses to quit, and refuses to be controlled by fear. A strong woman carries influence. She lifts others when they are weak, speaks truth when lies surround her, and stands firm when everything around her shakes. She is the kind of woman who prays when things get hard, who rises even after falling, and who fights with everything inside her for what is right. The enemy knows that if she ever realizes the full extent of her power, nothing will stop her. That is why the attacks come harder, the battles feel longer, and the struggles seem relentless. It is not because she is weak, but because she is strong enough to shift the atmosphere around her. The enemy's greatest fear is a woman who knows her worth, who refuses to settle for less than she deserves, and who walks in her God-given authority. She is not easily manipulated, not easily broken, and not easily deceived. The more she endures, the stronger she becomes. She is a living testament that no matter how fierce the battle, victory belongs to those who refuse to back down. Pain is never just about the person experiencing it. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every moment of suffering carries a purpose far beyond what is immediately seen. What feels unbearable today may become the very thing that helps someone else tomorrow. Pain teaches lessons that no textbook can, develops empathy that no words could ever fully capture, and builds a strength that others will one day lean on. The trials that seem unfair, the wounds that seem too deep to heal, are often the experiences that prepare someone to be a light for others walking through similar darkness. There is something powerful about surviving what once seemed impossible. It changes a person, not just for themselves, but for those who will one day need the wisdom that only comes from lived experience. The encouragement given to someone struggling carries more weight when it comes from a person who has been there. The comfort offered means more when it comes from someone who understands the depth of the pain. Pain refines, humbles, and softens the heart in a way that allows deeper connections with others. It transforms suffering into purpose, wounds into wisdom, and brokenness into strength that can be shared. Every scar is a testimony, proof that healing is possible, that endurance is worth it, and that survival is not just a possibility, but a certainty. The pain endured today may be the exact story someone else needs to hear to keep going. It may become the inspiration that saves a life, restores hope, or encourages someone to rise again. Nothing is wasted, not even suffering. What was meant to break can become the very thing that builds, not just for one person, but for many. Pain is not just endured, it is transformed into something greater, something that can lift others in ways nothing else can. Spiritual warfare is not just an idea, it is a reality that affects lives in ways seen and unseen. There is a constant battle between good and evil, light and darkness, and every person is involved, whether they realize it or not. It is not always physical struggles that weigh the heaviest, but the unseen forces working against purpose, peace, and destiny. The mind is attacked with doubt, fear, and anxiety. The heart is tested with betrayal, disappointment, and pain. The spirit is challenged with weariness, discouragement, and a sense of hopelessness. These battles are not coincidences. They are part of a greater war meant to shake faith, break resolve, and keep people from walking in their full strength. The enemy does not fight fair. He strikes when people are weakest, whispers lies in moments of doubt, and creates chaos to keep focus away from what truly matters. Distractions, temptations, and trials are not random. They are strategic attacks designed to keep people bound. But just as real as the attacks are, so is the power to overcome them. Faith, prayer, and resilience are weapons in this battle. Standing firm, refusing to be moved by fear, and holding on to truth even when everything seems against it are the strategies that lead to victory. Many fail to recognize that their struggles are not just physical or emotional, but spiritual in nature. When prayers seem ineffective, when hope feels distant, and when the weight of life seems too much to bear, it is often because the battle is happening on a level beyond what the eyes can see. Victory does not come from physical strength alone, but from spiritual endurance, unwavering faith, and the knowledge that no darkness is greater than the light that fights for those who refuse to give up. Strength is not something that is handed out freely. It is built through struggle, endurance, and perseverance. It is not given, but earned through battles fought, challenges faced, and hardships overcome. No one becomes strong by living an easy life. Strength is developed in the moments of pain, in the seasons of waiting, in the times when quitting feels like the only option, but pushing forward becomes the choice. It is earned through experience, through trial and error, through falling and rising again. Life has a way of testing those who are meant for more. Every obstacle is a chance to grow. Every hardship a lesson in resilience. The strongest people are not those who have never suffered, but those who have suffered and refuse to let it break them. Strength is built in the struggle, not in the absence of it. It is earned by facing fears, by standing firm in uncertainty, and by pushing forward when the odds seem impossible. There is no shortcut to true strength. It cannot be bought, borrowed, or inherited. It must be cultivated through persistence, through enduring discomfort, and through embracing the difficult moments that shape character. Those who desire strength must be willing to go through the process of earning it. It comes from experience, from learning to navigate adversity, from choosing faith over fear, and from refusing to let failures define the future. Strength is not about never falling. It is about always getting back up. It is not about never struggling. It is about enduring the struggle and coming out stronger on the other side. The ones who earn their strength are the ones who understand its value, knowing that every hardship was not a setback, but a setup for something greater. Trusting the process means believing that everything happening now is leading to something greater, even when it doesn't make sense. Life does not always unfold in a straight line. and the journey is often filled with setbacks, delays, and unexpected turns. But just because things are not happening on a preferred timeline does not mean they are not happening. Growth takes time, and transformation requires patience. Seeds do not sprout overnight. Diamonds are not formed without pressure. And strong foundations are not built in a day. The waiting, the struggle, and the uncertainty are all part of the process. There will be moments of frustration, times when giving up seems easier than pushing forward. The temptation to doubt, to question, to rush the process will be strong, but every season has a purpose, and every challenge carries a lesson. What seems like a delay is often preparation. What feels like a setback is sometimes a redirection to something better. Doors may close, opportunities may slip away, and plans may fall apart. But that does not mean failure. It means refinement, strengthening, and molding into someone ready for what is coming next. Trusting the process requires faith. Faith that the struggles are not wasted, faith that growth is happening even when it is not visible, and faith that what is meant to be will unfold in its time. The greatest achievements are not instant. They are built over time through resilience, persistence, and unwavering belief. When doubt creeps in, when the journey feels too long, remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. The process is not meant to be easy. It is meant to shape, strengthen, and prepare for something far greater than what can be imagined right now. Character is not built in comfort. It is shaped in adversity. It is easy to appear strong when life is simple, but true strength is revealed in the face of struggle. Hard times test patience, integrity, and resilience. They strip away pretense, exposing what lies beneath the surface. It is in the moments of hardship, when everything feels like it is falling apart, that character is formed. Struggle forces growth, pushing beyond limits and revealing the depth of inner strength that would never surface in easy times. Adversity teaches lessons that success never could. It demands perseverance, requiring a choice between giving up or pushing forward. It tests values, proving whether principles hold firm or crumble under pressure. Every challenge faced, every obstacle overcome adds another layer to character, refining it through fire. People do not become strong by avoiding hardship. They become strong by facing it, enduring it, and rising above it. The toughest battles produce the strongest warriors, not because they never struggle, but because they refuse to be defeated by it. Pain and difficulty shape perspective. They teach humility, patience, and the importance of perseverance. Those who endure adversity with faith and determination come out wiser, more compassionate, and more resilient. Hard times build the kind of strength that cannot be taken away, the kind that carries through future challenges with confidence. The greatest leaders, the strongest individuals, the most influential people have all been through struggles that tested them to their core. But in that testing, their character was formed. Adversity does not destroy those who face it head on. It builds them, strengthens them, and prepares them for something greater. Every difficulty endured is another step in becoming the person capable of handling the blessings and responsibilities that lie ahead. Being set apart is not always easy to understand, especially when the journey feels lonely or the struggles seem relentless. It can feel like rejection, isolation, or even punishment, but in reality, it is preparation. When someone is being set apart, they are being positioned for something greater, something that not everyone is meant to carry. The path is different because the calling is different. Others may take shortcuts, settle for less, or walk an easier road. But those who are set apart are called to a higher standard, to endure more, to grow stronger, and to develop into something rare. Separation is often uncomfortable. It means certain doors will close, relationships will shift, and the usual way of doing things will no longer be enough. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and patience. It may seem unfair at times, watching others move freely while facing obstacles at every turn. But what is being built in the process cannot be rushed. The strongest foundations take time. The most refined gold goes through the hottest fire. Being set apart is not about punishment. It is about transformation. There is a reason for the waiting, the challenges, the unexpected detours. It is not about fitting in or following the crowd, but about stepping into something unique, something designed for a greater purpose. The struggles are not random. They are shaping character, strengthening faith, and preparing for a future that requires endurance and wisdom. When things do not make sense, when the journey feels difficult, it is a reminder that being set apart means being prepared for something beyond the ordinary. Those who are chosen for more must first be refined, strengthened, and molded into who they are meant to be. No matter how dark the season, how heavy the burden, or how deep the pain, you are never alone. It may feel like no one understands, like the weight of the world is resting on your shoulders, but there is always a presence walking beside you, even in the silence. Loneliness is one of the enemy's greatest weapons, making people believe they are abandoned, unseen, or forgotten. But just because it feels that way does not make it true. Even in the moments of isolation, there is a plan unfolding, a purpose being shaped, and a strength being developed that would not come any other way. There are times when friends disappear, when support seems distant, and when prayers feel unanswered. Those are the moments that test faith, the moments that build resilience. But even then, you are not walking this path alone. Every tear is seen, every struggle is known, and every prayer is heard. There is strength in knowing that no matter how fierce the battle, you do not have to fight it by yourself. There is comfort in understanding that even in silence, you are being guided, protected, and prepared for something greater. Loneliness does not mean abandonment. The hardest seasons are often the ones where the most growth happens. They teach dependence on faith rather than circumstances, on inner strength rather than external validation. Even when no one else seems to notice the fight, you are never truly alone in it. There is a purpose in the solitude, a lesson in the struggle, and a presence walking with you through it all. No matter how unseen you may feel, you are never forgotten. No matter how isolated the road may seem, you are never walking it alone. Greatness is never achieved without sacrifice. Every person who has reached extraordinary heights has paid a price, endured struggles, and given up comfort for something greater. It is easy to admire the results of success, but few are willing to endure the process that leads to it. Sacrifice means letting go of what is easy to pursue what is meaningful. It requires discipline, patience, and the willingness to push past limits, even when the road feels impossible. There is no shortcut to true greatness. It demands time, effort, and relentless perseverance. It means sacrificing temporary pleasures for long-term success, trading distractions for focus, and stepping away from what is familiar to chase what is extraordinary. It often requires walking alone, making difficult choices, and enduring moments of uncertainty. The greatest victories are not handed out freely. They are earned through relentless commitment and the willingness to do what others will not. Sacrifice also means learning to let go. It means releasing old habits, toxic relationships, and self-doubt. It requires stepping out of comfort zones, embracing challenges, and enduring hardships that strengthen character. The journey to greatness is filled with setbacks, failures, and painful lessons, but those who refuse to quit are the ones who rise above. True success is not given, it is built through resilience and sacrifice. The world honors those who achieve, but it rarely sees the sacrifices made behind the scenes. The late nights, the early mornings, the moments of doubt that were overcome with determination. These are the unseen costs of greatness. Those who are willing to sacrifice, to keep going when others stop, and to push beyond what seems possible, are the ones who reach the level of success that others only dream about. Pain can feel overwhelming, like it has no purpose and no end. It can consume thoughts, shake faith, and make it difficult to see beyond the suffering. But no matter how deep the hurt, God's plan is always greater. What feels like a setback is often a setup for something far beyond what can be imagined. Pain is not the destination. It is part of the journey, a chapter in the story, but not the entire book. There is a reason behind every struggle, a lesson in every hardship, and a purpose in every tear. God does not waste pain. Every trial, every disappointment, every season of difficulty is shaping something greater. What seems like rejection is often redirection. What feels like loss is sometimes protection. Doors that close are not meant to break spirits, but to guide towards something better. Pain refines, strengthens, and prepares for what is coming next. It builds endurance, deepens faith, and creates the kind of resilience needed to step into the fullness of what God has planned. It is hard to trust when the pain is fresh, when the wounds are deep, and when answers feel distant. But faith means believing in what cannot yet be seen. It means understanding that even in suffering, there is a plan unfolding. The moments of pain are not where the story ends. God's plan does not leave people broken. It lifts them, restores them, and brings them into something greater than they ever expected. What is painful today will one day be a testimony of strength, survival, and transformation. No struggle is wasted, no suffering is in vain, because God's plan is always bigger than the pain that tries to break the soul. The enemy does not waste time on what is weak or insignificant. He attacks what he fears, targeting those who have purpose, potential, and power. The greater the calling, the greater the resistance. If the enemy is fighting hard against someone, it is because he knows what they are capable of. He sees the impact they can have, the strength they carry, and the difference they can make. His goal is to stop them before they step into who they were created to be. Attacks come in many forms: doubt, fear, distractions, temptations, and even the weight of past mistakes. The enemy wants to shake faith, break confidence, and convince people to give up before they reach their destiny. He uses obstacles to make the journey seem impossible, whispers lies that make people question their worth, and throws challenges that test their endurance. But these attacks are not signs of weakness. They are proof of strength. They are evidence that there is something inside worth fighting against. Pressure and struggle are not signs to quit. They are signs to keep going. The enemy does not attack those who are no threat. He only fights against those who carry something powerful. The very fact that opposition exists means there is something worth protecting, something worth pushing through for. Resistance is not proof of defeat. It is confirmation that victory is on the other side. The harder the battle, the greater the purpose. The attacks are meant to discourage, but they can also be reminders that what lies ahead is greater than what is behind. Standing firm, refusing to back down, and continuing forward despite the attacks is what leads to breakthrough, proving that fear has no power over those who choose to fight back. Victory is not something that has to be chased or earned. It is already yours. The battles may be intense, the struggles may seem overwhelming, but the outcome has already been decided. It is easy to feel defeated when obstacles arise, when setbacks come, and when the weight of the fight feels unbearable. But the truth is, the war has already been won. Every challenge, every hardship, and every painful moment is just part of the journey leading to what is already secured. Fear and doubt will try to convince you that victory is out of reach, that you are too weak, too broken, or too far behind to win. The enemy wants to make you believe that the battle is bigger than you, that the odds are against you, and that you will never make it through. But victory is not about what it looks like right now. It is about the promise that has already been given, no matter what stands in the way, no matter how hard the fight. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. The struggles are real, the pain is real, but so is the power that resides within. Every setback is temporary, every hardship is shaping something greater, and every battle is leading to something that cannot be taken away. Standing firm, refusing to quit, and believing that victory is already yours changes everything. It shifts the mindset from fear to faith, from doubt to determination. Challenges do not define the outcome. Persistence does. The battle may rage, but it will not break you, because what has been promised cannot be stolen. The victory is already written, already secured, and already waiting for those who refuse to give up. Every struggle, every trial, and every painful moment is shaping a testimony that will inspire others. What may feel like suffering now is actually preparation for something greater. The battles fought in silence, the tears shed in private, and the moments of doubt that seemed endless are all part of a bigger picture. The pain endured is not in vain. It is building a story of resilience, faith, and triumph. One day, someone will need to hear it. There are people struggling with the very things that have been overcome. They are looking for hope, for proof that healing is possible, that breakthroughs happen, and that darkness does not last forever. When victory comes, it is not just personal. It becomes a light for others. The same encouragement once needed will be given to someone else. The same prayers once whispered in desperation will become words of strength for another. The battles faced today will one day be a testimony that helps someone else keep going. Pain often feels isolating, but it connects people in ways that nothing else can. It breaks down barriers, creates understanding, and gives others permission to believe that they too can overcome. A testimony carries power, not because it is perfect, but because it is real. The moments that once felt like defeat will become proof of victory. The scars will become reminders of battles won, and the lessons learned will guide others through their own storms. The very things that seemed impossible to survive will become the inspiration someone else needs to keep fighting. Every challenge endured is not just for personal growth. It is meant to uplift, encourage, and remind others that they are not alone in their journey. The battles you face, the pain you endure, and the struggles that test you are not without purpose. Every hardship is shaping you, every setback is preparing you, and every tear is watering the seeds of strength, resilience, and wisdom within you. You are not being broken. You are being built. The pressure, the challenges, and the moments of doubt are refining you into the person you are meant to be. Do not let the struggle convince you that you are weak. The enemy does not attack what is powerless. He fights hardest against those who carry greatness within them. Your pain is not a sign of defeat. It is proof that something powerful is being birthed in you. The trials you endure today will be the testimony that strengthens someone else tomorrow. Your story will inspire, your resilience will encourage, and your victory will be a light for others to follow. Stand firm, keep going. Trust that what is happening now is not the end, it is preparation. The road may be difficult, but you were never meant to walk an ordinary path. You were called for something greater, and that greatness requires endurance. Even when you cannot see the way forward, keep believing, keep pushing, and keep rising. Victory is already yours. The fire you are walking through is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to refine you. You are stronger than you realize, and your purpose is greater than you can imagine. Keep the faith, because your breakthrough is coming, and when it does, you will understand why the battle was necessary all along.